So this is the location from which I filmed, which is the town, or near the town of St Bees, up here in Cumbria. I put these lines in quite crudely. So in fact I have 2 points of observation. One is actually along this road here, the Egremont Road. It's just next to, close to these buildings. There's a little pullover, a little lay-by area just here, which was one of the locations that I used. It's about 70 meters plus here. Google Earth actually gives it 75 meters, so it's reasonably accurate, I think, Google Earth here. I think the Ordnance Survey map puts it at around 70, between 70 and 80 meters. And the other location is the cliff tops at near St Bees here. These lines are not intended to be accurate, really. They were just to illustrate roughly the line of sight across from St Bees to the various lighthouses. So there are 5 possible lighthouses. One that I haven't marked yet, which is here, and is Maughold. So just to make it absolutely clear where we're looking from, we have actually 5 lighthouses that might be seen. Now the Point of Ayre has another lighthouse next to it called the Winky, which is a very, very low elevation lighthouse, but it's still active and has a flashing light. So the main Point of Ayre lighthouse is this structure here, which is quite a tall structure. I think it's 32 meters above sea level, the light. And the Winky is much smaller out here on the sandy beach, or maybe sandy, maybe pebbly, but it's out here, and is a much lower level. Then we have a little further south, we have the Maughold Lighthouse, which is a lighthouse built on a cliff face. For those of you not familiar with this whole story, the Maughold Lighthouse is quite important in the discussion that's been had about the Isle of Man. So the Maughold Lighthouse is just here on this headland and is 65 meters above average sea level. And both these lighthouses, all 3 of these, if you include the Winky, are pretty close to St Bees relative to the others. So the distance is about 31 or 2 miles to Maughold, and similar sort of distance to the Point of Ayre lighthouse. There are 2 other lighthouses that one might expect to see, particularly if the Earth was flat, but down here on Douglas Head and down here on the Langness Peninsula, Langness Lighthouse and Douglas Head Lighthouse. Now all these lighthouses have very characteristic flashing rhythms, and I've left the sound on my narration whilst I was recording some of these things, and you may hear me muttering about which lighthouse it is I'm seeing. The point is, you can go back and check how many flashes you see in a given period of time and correspond that to the lighthouse in question. So as it turns out, the Point of Ayre lighthouse flashes 4 times every 20 seconds, I believe. The Maughold lighthouse flashes 3 times every 30 seconds. And the other 2 lighthouses down here have similarly characteristic flashes, but I couldn't see either of these, nor could I see the Winky, which I think has a constant flashing light. So let's get on to the actual footage itself of the lighthouses. Yes, I mentioned I have 2 vantage points, and I've got that in here, so that should be clear to everybody. There it is. There we go. It's now right in shot. And this is on the Egremont Road, and we are looking at, I'm pretty sure it's the Maughold Lighthouse. There we go, flashing, 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 3 flashes, 4 flashes, and then darkness for period of time which should, I think, be about 30 seconds. We flash, 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 and flash. So this is the 4 flashes and then a break. Here now there's another lighthouse visible, which is a little bit further to the left. I'm going to wait for it to fire up. So that could be a Point of Ayre out there, and this one could be the Maughold when I pan round. So I'm going to try and line the camera up, the telescope up with the other one, which may or may not work. Just got to see it flash again. I'm a little bit off. There it is, there it is. 1, 2, 3, stop. And we wait 30 seconds, I think. I think this one is the Maughold Lighthouse. I've just moved the telescope a little bit to get that more centered. I'm pretty sure this is the Maughold Lighthouse. We should wait 30 seconds. 1, 2, 3, and I'll have to check the timings because I did make a note of them, but I haven't got them anymore. So that's 3 flashes and a long pause. And then 1, 2, stopped. Started again. Stops automatically because it doesn't think they're actually filming anything, but in fact we are. So hopefully the light will come on again. Flash 3 times and one, 2, 3, and a pause for 20 or 30 seconds. I'm not sure what it is for this particular lighthouse. One, 2, 3, and a pause. I think it should be a 30-second pause. I need to get down to some of these cliff tops We're up on the road to Egremont here, and I'm at higher elevation than the cliffs. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to stop there and I'm going to pan round because I didn't fiddle around with the focus too much up on the road. There we are, we're in shot. I'll try and get focus a little bit better for the next one. Every time I touch the focus I move the telescope a little bit, which is not ideal. There we have 3 flashes, a long pause. Ooh, a shooting star. Didn't get it in the camera there, but I saw it just off to my left. 30-second pause. 1, 2 and 3. So we're at the highest point on the cliff and we can still make out the Maughold Lighthouse. 3 flashes every 30 seconds is what we're expecting. The other lighthouse, which was to the right, which was presumably the Point of Ayre lighthouse, cannot see. Now you can perhaps make out that that flash is pretty close to the water line because the flash is reflected in the water. It looks to be reflected in the water. One, 2 and 3. So the plan is to come back so hard to see where it should actually be. Let's see, what have we got? That looks like the right peak. There it is. So, oops. Hopefully we'll be in shot next time it flashes. My battery's wanting to die. Come on, give me one last shot. Oh, I've gone too far again. Bugger. You can just see a light flickering there, but that's not actually the Maughold Lighthouse. There it is. 2, 3, and it stops. And hopefully I'll get just one more of it flickering. Flashing on and off. Right, pack up and go home. Come on, 30 seconds. hang on battery, 1, 2, and 3, and gone. So from Anthony's Cliff we can see Maughold Lighthouse. I don't think I'm going to be able to prove